Hey, welcome back, everybody. And we are doing our wrap up show about the Oscars. As you know, we've been putting out videos watching the Oscars live. So we're going to give our final thoughts on what we thought about this whole Oscars and all the controversy going on. So we'll start with you this time, Evan. What you think?
Overall, I enjoyed Chris Rock. I mean, the guy came out just fist, pumping. I mean, because um, everyone's kind of waiting to see what he was going to do, what he was going to say, and what he said. It was on. I mean, it was time for someone to say something, and I think he really represented those frustrations, in the black community as far as the Oscars being so white.
Absolutely. Absolutely. KT?
I was a little trouble with his whole little trip to Compton and his interviews giving these individuals the Oscar. To me, it kind of feeds into a stereotypical view of black people, and that he kind of lost me on that, and I'm a little disappointed about that.
You know what? Let me speak to that right quick. And I guess my first thought in my first mind is to sort of agree with you, but I'm wondering is that because of what we think about it versus, actually being, because that's a part of real black culture.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's, whether or not we like it or agree with it or not is one thing, but I mean, it's still part of authentic black culture.
I'm
So I
not
don't
saying
want
that. I'm saying not excluded, but include a variety of black culture,
to.
and not just that. What is
Well,
always
you didn't feel like they did a variety on there with that?
not enough. No, I really don't.
That's interesting.
You
Okay.
think he did?
I mean,
I feel he did. I mean, he talked.
Well,
to
you agree with everything Chris Rock did. So.
but I'm saying, I mean, when he talked to the people, it was different perspectives, to some degree,
yeah,
on
yeah.
what how people reacted to his questions, and
And the dude's favorite show was Superfly. I ain't mad at
that
it
was
though.
funny, but that, again, that's part of
That is black culture.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
So I mean, I don't want to.
I think Matt Hatter's favorite movie is Superfly too. So
Right. I mean,
shout
for
out
us,
Matt Hatter.
I think for us, that's like we look at that and be like, oh man, come on. But like, when you talk about the truth of black culture, I mean, that is a part of it. Superfly and the
Right, but
Shaft
that's-
movies,
that's
That's
a
black
reflection.
exploitation movies.
That's a reflection on the different cultures in this country. I mean,
Mhm.
when you think about it, even with the Oscars, if you go to some, if you talk to some white people and name some black movies, I guarantee you they wouldn't have seen most of the stuff that he would have called out.
That's a really good point because
So-
that's the part that I was looking
Yeah.
at too. Because
Yeah.
when he was asking him about all the movies like Spotlight and Bridge of Spies, like none of these black people had even heard of these movies. Like one of the ladies thought he was kidding. Like,
Right.
are you just naming movies? And I was kind of thinking, so you bring up a good point. I wonder if it had been on the other foot and Chris Rock had been asking white people about, Straight Outta Compton or
And I think
Don't
that's-
Be a Menace to South Central or
Why
Friday.
drinking your juice in the hood?
Right, or
Everybody
stuff
know
like
about
that.
Friday.
Right.
Or
That's the
Friday or stuff
underlying-
like that. Like,
That's the underlying, I think, what the whole issue is about: the separation in cultures.
sure.
We just don't relate to each other
Yeah.
that well when it comes to what we call art or what we call representation of life.
Sure.
And
sure.
in like a movie, I really thoroughly enjoyed Straight Outta Compton. But a lot of white people probably wouldn't go see that movie because they just can't relate to
Sure,
it.
sure.
Not that the movie was horrible. It's just, I mean, why would they want to check it out?
Right,
Unless
right.
they have some friends that are black or something. They just want to be.
I like gladiators. I never fought in a Roman Coliseum, but I like it.
I think it's a little
But
bit
you're
different.
forced to. You're subjected
Well,
to that.
yeah,
on to
and
some
so
degree.
many, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's all that's put in front of us.
Exactly.
And I think that's at least that's the argument.
I
The
mean, you
argument
would.
is that
I'm sorry. Okay.
yeah, no. The argument is that that's what's put in front of us mostly. I mean, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's where Hollywood comes from. I mean, there was a time where if you wanted to watch a movie or a TV show, you had to watch it with all white people. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So there was a time where stuff like that was happening. So
One thing my at my church said is, when he was younger, one of his favorite TV shows was Tarzan,
Mhm.
and in the show, Tarzan was fighting and killing black people, Africans in the show,
Yeah.
and he said he was always rooting for Tarzan
Yeah.
to kill the Africans.
Right.
And then, that's the kind of stuff that that were pushed on to us
Right.
to not like Africans.
Right, right.
So he said when he was younger, if someone called a black person call another black person African, they'll get upset and feel like, well, you disrespecting me,
Right.
So that's just kind of what Hollywood has done to or how it forces us to look at culture in a certain way.
Sure.
And like when you were saying, it's kind of the same way with the toys. If you had a black girl go to the store, she had to get a white doll.
Mhm.
And if you go send a white kid to a store and it was all black dolls in the store, she probably wouldn't want a doll.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah. The
that's
dog,
just
well,
how
that's
we've
that's
been-
an
The
actual
Kenneth
test.
Clark's study.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just how movies have everything as far as media goes. When we were raised up, even with like Tom and Jerry,
Sure.
the only black person on that show was a maid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the stuff that we've been.
I
subjected
say now, Tom getting yeah.
I love that cartoon though. But okay, so overall, like I said, the Oscars. I guess my question is like, or at least my thought about it is, first and foremost, I'm wondering. I'm always thinking objectively, so I'm wondering what, Chris Rock's, entertainment it was very entertaining. I really loved what he did, what he said. Overall, is it going to put us forward in any kind of way with where we are with this controversy?
I don't know. I
don't
have
think
no.
so.
I mean, to be honest, my honest feelings about it is they're not gonna. There won't be any change. I mean, we were just talking about, with all of the controversy going on, none of the white people in the show, so far as what we've seen, have even addressed it.
Right, and that's
Chris
my
Rock
biggest
is like
thing.
hitting it like this,
Yeah.
but no one's kind of like, oh, that's that black stuff.
That's
We're
my
not
biggest thing. I
not gonna
really
touch it.
wanted somebody, somebody non-black in this show to acknowledge what was happening in one of the acceptance speeches or something. Just somebody, a white actor or somebody, actress, to just acknowledge what was going on. Now, I'm trying to be sort of empathetic because that's our buzzword. So I guess I can kind of see that, people sitting back in the audience and sort of feeling uncomfortable in a lot of ways and saying that, hey, I don't know if I should say something. This is the thing right now. So I guess I can kind of attribute it to that. But I really wish those who were or who did understand what the controversy and stuff was about would have stood up and said something or would have just acknowledged it. So that's what it was for me. And I don't know if what happened tonight on tonight's Oscars is going to move us forward in any kind of way. I'm still sort of questioning that. As entertaining as it was, as much as it made us laugh, as good as it made us feel, are we going to move forward now with this whole controversy? So thank you guys so much. This was our Oscar coverage for 2016. Let us know what you thought about this whole Oscars celebration tonight. Did you watch it? What do you think Chris Rock's his presentation is going to do to move us forward with this whole controversy? So anyway, I want to thank the people here with me on the show. Again, Miss Katrina Reese, Mr. Edwin Brown, I'm Terrence Fisher, and we will see you guys in the next show.
Peace.
Be careful.